Hey everyone, it is Crystal with Pineapple Papers and happy Groundhog Day. So, Jackie from JQ Crafty has set up this Groundhog Day hop this is our third year. So the idea behind it is you make a layout and then you scrap lift it every year and see kind of the transformation. So I have last year's layout up in the upper left-hand corner, and I did not go back and look at the original. So I started out with looking for a floral wreath paper because I had that in the original and I couldn't find one. So instead, I decided to grab this background paper that I had made just one afternoon when I was just making a bunch of backgrounds. So it's through a Scrapping Reflections stencil, and I did some blue inking, and then I added some glitter glaze in a blue color as well. So I trimmed that down and backed it on a blue piece of pattern paper. And then to get that circular element, I went ahead and took one of my plates and just drew the circle several times around. So that way I have kind of that circular element. Now, the next thing that I'm looking at in last year's layout is that I have a ton of torn paper up there at the top. So instead of putting it all at the top, I've decided that I actually want to put it in the center of this layout. So we are just coming off Baby Got Scraps, and I did make this in January. So I am using a ton of scraps for this layout to make all of my layers here. And I'm kind of going monochromatic. So here is a bunch of blue papers. I just tore them. I'm going to adhere them down to the middle. So fun fact, the original layout, because I have gone back and looked at it since then, the original layout did not have a floral wreath. So that was something new, but something that was kind of continued this year. And then the original definitely had a bunch of torn papers, but they were all, I believe, on the right side. So the torn papers have definitely stayed the 3 times, but they have been changed in their position on the layout. So both last 2 layouts were both of me. So I thought, well, perfect. I will do a photo of me. I'm actually going to do 2. So the past 2 were singular, and they were actually feet shots. So that was kind of fun. So at the time, I didn't think that I had any, but I have since found one in the sand, which would have been perfect, but that's not what I did. So I'm going to do these 2 photos of us or just me. This was on a hike we went to in Hawaii. And I'm going to go ahead and back both of these photos with some scrap white cardstock. So I did notice that there was quite a bit of white cardstock in my scraps, and I definitely wasn't using it. I was just taking another piece of white paper and matting my photos and then creating more scraps. So what I've done is actually placed all of the white scraps to the left of my desk underneath my trimmer there. So then I can use them up before I go breaking into a whole new 12 by 12 sheet. Not that they're expensive by any means, but it's definitely good to use what you got. So I've got my 2 photos there. I have this kind of coppery vellum that I'm going to put on the bottom of my photos. Now my photos are close, and they're smaller, so they really could act as one photo, but there are 2. And I added this piece of acetate that is also a scrap, and it has some coppery florals on it as well. And then, so that's something new. And then I'm going to basically go through all of the things from my kit. So I'm actually using my How to Kill a Kit with Style for this quarter. And I am going to kind of go through the things and see what kind of blue items will work for this layout, because like I said, I have kind of decided, instead of all of the tons of colors, even though they're muted, I just want to do blue. So everything that I am pulling off is blue, I believe. And I will go through the sticker sheets, I will go through the packs of ephemera, and I will just pull things out that I think might possibly work. That's kind of how my brain works. So I'll pull out some items that I want to use or packages of items that I think I want to use, which is really good when you have a kit. And then I kind of do a process of elimination. So I flip through everything, I look at the sticker sheet, and then I pull out all the things that I think I might use. And then that way I have a smaller thing to kind of go through. Occasionally I'll do it like one at a time, add things out of my pile, but I usually do kind of go through all of the things, especially when it's a kit. So obviously I have more things in my kit than just these few packages, but I felt like these few packages were the only ones that possibly had anything that could work. So like I said, I'm going to pull everything out. And a lot of the time I do this off camera. But today, sometimes when I'm in the zone, I forget, okay, maybe somebody doesn't want to look through all my stuff. So I will go ahead and pause the video and then do this off camera and then come back with that pile. So I added a little border strip down there at, oh no, I ended up putting it on the top of kind of my stacked layered pieces. And then I'm just going to kind of start working on some clusters. I know I want a cluster up here on the top. I'm contemplating putting my title up there at the top as well. But I'm going to move it over to the torn pieces of paper, which is where my title is in the previous layout. So I kept my title on the torn pieces. And I can't remember. I don't think my title was on the torn pieces last time. But my title is going to be Today and Wonders, because those were the words that were in the right color and they worked out together. I am going to skip that camera. It was just too big over there off to the left-hand side. So I'm just going to do kind of a diagonal of embellishment with those florals. And then I go off screen, glue everything down, and I have some close-ups for you. So if you have any questions, please leave them down below. This is a super fun hop, so thank you, Jackie, for putting this on. And it'll be fun to see how this layout translates next year too. So I'll have the playlist or links to everybody who's playing along. And remember to wear your crown, and we'll see you next year. Bye.